So thanks everybody again for joining me for my coverage of the Budo League. I'm Gunter, and joining me is Kinjo. How you doing, dude?
Good, how you doing there?
I'm doing pretty good. This is the fourth set between the Shimazu clan and the Takeda clan's Team 1. Here in the lovely purpley pinky color, we have the Takeda clan's Sone Masayo, and his opponent in the dark red is Kinjo's teammate, the Shimazu clan's Tadatsune, that's the one. Tadatsune. And before we get going here, there's a couple of housekeeping issues. This is the last replay I've received so far from Round 1, and I suspect Round 1 is over and Round 2 has already begun. So, after this, I'm going to have to send emails and try hunt down the rest, or see which ones didn't get played and so on. But nonetheless, we've got a best of 3 today between Sone and Tadatsune. So, without further ado, Kinjo, would you like to tell us about the armies here?
Okay, I'll go ahead and start with the Takeda army. Looks like he has some pretty heavy cav. He's got some great guard on the left flank, some monk cav in the rear. As far as archers go, he looks like he's got a couple high-vetted bow samurai, and he's definitely got a strong core of infantry with katana sam, lone swords, and Nagini sam, and actually a nun on the left. As far as the Shimazu, Tadatsune's army, he's got a lot of cav. Looks like he's got 4 units of Yari cav with a light cav in the rear. And as far as archers go, looks like he's got Ashigaru. And a good amount of katana swords with some warrior monks on the right flank.
Okay, now I noticed the warrior monk cavalry. Haven't seen them before. Have they been added in this new patch?
Yeah, they are part of the DLC, the Ikoiki.
Yeah, the Ikoiki
as well
DLC,
as the nuns as well.
And do you know their stats at all, how they compare to other cavalry in the game?
Yeah. You know, they're kind of a nice blend between the Katana Cav and the Yari Cav. They get, I believe, +7 versus cavalry, and they actually have a 12 attack, I believe. I'm just going off the top of my head, I don't remember sure, but it's actually just kind of a in between Yari Cav and Katana Samurai Cav, or Katana Cavalry.
Alright, well, we might as well get this show started. So this is game 1 in a best of 3 set. We should both be paused at the beginning of the game. I'll count it down. We'll hit play in 3, 2, 1, play. And let's see what the plan is going to be. Once again, we're on Rice Fields, which is the most popular map by far so far in the Budo League. Now, just looking at their armies, who would you say has... it's probably a bit silly to ask who has the best chance, but who has the best chance, just looking at their army composition?
Well, looking at the armies, I would say the Takeda actually has better infantry. And, you know, of course, he's got great guard as well. And then his archers look a little better with the bow samurai. But, you know, it looks like Tadatsune is going more for numbers, because he's got actually 5 cavalry overall. So if he uses them well, you know, he'll be able to outflank the great guards and, you know, get the monk cavalry.
Okay, so both armies just very tentatively pushing forward a little bit. We had Sone send his great guard, the King Zone and Queen Zone he's called them, up the left flank a little bit, paused in front of a rice paddy. And this looks like it's going to be a little bit quiet for the opening part of this game. Bit of maneuver. Here goes Tadatsune sending 2 of his Yari cavalry units up the left a bit further, and the rest of his army following behind. So what do you think the plan is for either of these guys at the beginning?
Well, I would say Tadatsune, he would probably, you know, he's going to try to engage the great guard. And it looks like he's definitely trying to support his cav with spears, because that's really his only chance on beating the great guard on his right flank. Now, left flank, not sure what he's doing, but hopefully he sees the gun sitting in the trees there.
Well, actually, he may not be able to.
Usually,
in fact, I think they are hidden, so he wouldn't know they were there at all. You think maybe you should have these 2 other units of Yari cavalry over on his right flank to help take care of this great guard? Do you think you should go all in there?
You know, that would probably be the move that I would use, especially since his Great Guard are just kind of setting off to the side there.
Okay, so the skirmish is going to begin. Tadatsune sending forward his light cavalry in open formation, trying to take out these archers. And he's going to charge them straight in. They do eat a volley. And they have taken a lot of casualties, and the morale is already dropping, but he does manage to get the charge home. Unit of spearmen, warrior nuns.
You know, that would have been a good opportunity for him to move up his Ashigari to get some shots off from that, because his archers were tied up. They're tied up, they're not firing.
So, unit of light cavalry down to 17 men from the 45 they started with. And Tadatsune's ranged units are starting to do damage to Sone's ranged units. And Sone pulls his Great Guard back. Worried, I think, quite wisely, with all the spearmen sitting over there on that flank. And now Tadatsune pulls his Yari cavalry out of the forest, and they eat a volley, but no damage done at all. Every shot missed. So that's damn bad luck there.
Yeah. You know, actually, I think that's a bug with the game. You know, with the matchlock monks, you know, anything above 125, they just miss with the extended range.
Oh, okay. That's certainly a bad bug that needs to be fixed straight away. Taking a look at the casualties here, the Bow Samurai, one of Sone's Bow Samurai down to 59 men from 90. Yari cavalry coming forward again from Tadatsune. Trying to take out these archers, trying to beat this skirmish, beat his opponent in the skirmish rather. And he's sending forward the Naginata Samurai again, another volley from the matchlocks. Once again, no more casualties. He does manage to charge the Yari cavalry home. That's going to do quite a lot of damage to these archery units.
Yeah, definitely. That's some good opening moves, tying up the archers. I mean, the Bow Samurai, you know, definitely would beat the Ashigari, and yeah, as you can see, they're already taking a toll on the morale. You know, the one good thing about Samurai archers is they have the armor, so they can actually withstand the archery duels for a little longer than the Ashigaru.
So, like predicted, pretty quiet opening, but Tadatsune's doing the right thing, trying to beat these Bow Samurai down. We now have one unit, 50 men from 90, and the other unit, 59 from 90. The skirmish continues. So, what can Sone do at this point to swing this battle in his favor? Does he just need to go ahead and attack?
Well, right now he's actually targeting the muskets on the right flank of Tadatsune, which you know, they can't really take too many shots since they're monks. They don't really have any armor. So you know, just as long as he can take out the monks, the monk guns, looks like he's already going ahead with the archery duel. Just as long as Sone can keep his archers from being charged with the cav.
And he is doing the right thing to prevent that, having the warrior nuns out the front there, try to give them as much support as possible.
Yeah, you know, I think the Naginata Samurai would be a better choice. I wouldn't want to throw that small unit out there to get shot at, since they don't have any armor. But
what are the strength of the warrior nuns over the warrior monks?
Well, they don't have Warcry, but they have a much stronger attack than the Naginata warriors. I believe their attacks between 18 and 20, where a monk is probably, I think, around 12.
Now Sone's done a mistake.
One weakness.
He's left his archers way out the front, unsupported, took a huge volley down to 31 men from 90, and now a unit of Yari cavalry are coming in to clean them up, but he decides to turn them around because unit of Great Guard did head forward to fend them off.
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you off, things were happening.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Okay, so once again, the standoff continues. The skirmish appears to be going Tadatsune's way. It'll be interesting to see when the hammer blow will fall and who will win the big melee at the end that inevitably happens.
Yeah, there's definitely some good skirmishing going on. Looks like Sone right now is going for the soft targets and going for the monk warriors, which is definitely a good shot. They go down pretty easy to arrows.
So we play the waiting game. Tadatsune sending forward his archers again. Try and focus down these Bow Samurai. Tadatsune's units Boa Shigaru unit 73 from 120, and 39 now from 119, and they're now wavering. They have taken a lot of casualties. He's sending forward a unit of matchlocks over on the right flank of those archers.
Yeah, that's definitely a hard duel for Tadatsune to win. I mean, the Yashigari, I mean, they're good, but they really don't hold up too well against the samurai archers who have better accuracy, better reload. Of course, they got the armor advantage.
And now those samurai are focusing down those matchlocks who were hidden for a second, but they are going to fire off a volley. And they're down to 60 men from 90. How long until all these units run out of ammo, I wonder?
Well, I guess it depends on if they have the ammunition upgrade. I believe, looking at the Takeda archers, they don't have the extra ammo. Well, one of them does, actually.
One of our units has used all its ammunition, my lord.
But we just got the one of our units used all their ammunition, my lord message, so somebody's run out of ammo. It must have been... It couldn't have been anybody else but this Bow Samurai unit running forward now. And now Tadatsune is charging forward Yari Cavalry. He wants these archers dead, low ammo or no. 2 units of Naginata Warrior Monks following up behind, along with another unit of Yari Cavalry behind the Naginata Warrior Monks. The Bow Samurai are going to start fleeing. They're not being supported at all. Sone's just leaving them there. Why not? I suppose they've done their bit.
Yeah, there's really not very many archers left of Tadatsune's army to be much of a threat.
Our men are running from the battlefield.
The only thing Sone has to worry about is the guns. You know, because he's got a lot of swords, and you know, guns usually do pretty well on sword armies.
But having said that, so did you say Tadatsune's guns? Tadatsune has 30 men left in his matchlock unit. Oh, and the cavalry over on Tadatsune's left flank took a massive volley from this unit of matchlocks from Sone. And they do manage to still get the charge home, and they're not going to survive for very long. Unit of Naginata Warrior Monk cavalry coming over, along with the unit of Naginata Samurai to try to fend them off, but they do retreat. There is a unit of Yari Samurai in that forest to try help. So, still very cautious play from both people, no one willing to really charge home. All the ranged units are, you know, on... low manpower, lots of casualties. There's only one unit of Boa Shigaru left from Tadatsune. What happens next?
Well, you know, definitely, you know, the thing about guns, even if there's a small number left, you know, just the morale effect that they can cause can actually be very damaging to your army. But, I think Tadatsune should definitely try to get these monk cavalry, because his cavalry has an advantage. And we definitely see the swords moving up the middle, so the melee looks like it's getting ready to begin.
Yep, Sone's decided to go for it and charge in. He's charging in his Great Guard over around his left flank, going to meet up with his Yari Cavalry. It's pretty easy to know who wins that fight. And Tadatsune's units are starting to waver and flee. Naginata Warrior Monks gone, Yari Cavalry gone. Sone's Longsword Ashigaru charging up the middle, hitting the matchlocks who are going to flee in pretty short order. So one big charge, thrust home, might just have this, might just get this win for Sone.
Yeah, and it looks like Sone's going after Tadatsune's bodyguard. He probably definitely has a melee general because he just used Banzai.
And he does.
So that'd be a.
He does charge up the back of that general, and 22 out of 30 now, 20, 19, 18. Pretty devastating charge there, doing a lot of damage.
Yeah, definitely Sone took advantage of the gap that was opened up in the line, and he was able to charge through it and get the general. And once the general falls, then you'll see the rest of the morale of the army start to fall rather quickly.
Yep, Sone's now sweeping up his left flank, Tadatsune's right flank. And the general does just die. So now the morale for all of Tadatsune's units is falling pretty dramatically. And I'd say that's a pretty convincing win for Sone.
Indeed, it was well played. You know, he did well in the skirmish and you know, charged home for the win.
So, Sone Masayo goes up 1-0 against the Shimazu clan's Tadatsune in this best-of-3 set. So it's Game 2 in this best-of-3 set between the Takeda clan's Sone Masayo and the Shimazu clan's Tadatsune. The first game was a pretty long but pretty convincing win for Sone Masayo after a long skirmish. He did manage to charge home a pretty convincing win. Now, when I loaded this map, Kinjo, I thought I'd accidentally loaded the first game instead of the second one because Sone Masayo has the same army deployed in exactly the same way on the same map. Do you think he's just confident that that build's going to work for him?
Well, he did make up some changes. I mean, if you look at the Great Guard, they definitely, you got the Blue Bloods and the White Stars.
Yeah. Not the King Zone and Queen Zone. So they're at least a different unit of Great Guards, yeah.
And as far as his infantry goes, he did change it up a bit. He had a few lone swords thrown in the mix in the last battle. Now it looks like he went for more quality, higher leveled Katana Sam with a another Naginata Samurai on the right, as well as some matchlock Samurai backed up by some spears, and it looks like pretty much the same cav setup. As far as Tadatsune goes, he's got more infantry. Looks like he went more for quality than quantity. Looks like he's got the Red Army thing going on.
Yeah, and I mean, it's possible he's got ranged units hidden in this stand of trees, but it looks to me like he doesn't want any of that skirmishing. It looks like he wants to go straight in and get this win.
It is possible. I mean, he does have some Nandachis in the woods, and let's see, in the woods there. And that's, I don't see any range as well. As far as cav composition goes for Tadatsune, it's about the same. 4 Yari cavalry with 1 light cav. And then, of course, he's got the warrior monks backing up the Yari on the right flank.
Alright, so let's go ahead and get this second game underway. It's 1-0 for Sone Masayo right now. We should both be paused. We'll hit play in 3, 2, 1. Play. We should both be underway. Now, I think Tadatsune's going to charge straight in. So let's see if that happens. And as he moves now, we'll see what emerges out of these trees. And by charge straight in, I don't mean reckless necessarily. I just mean I think he must want to be aggressive.
Yeah, sometimes when players, when their tactics don't work, they'll try to change things up, try to adjust to the other player's tactics, and that's what it looks like Tadatsune's trying to do.
Yeah, and it looks like he does not have one single ranged unit at all on the field. So, no skirmishing for him. He's going to be on the receiving end.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be tough. I mean, not being able to check the archers or the matchlock samurai is going to be tough for Tadatsune.
Sone Masayo moving his
the one thing
general and his warrior monk cavalry. Sorry to cut you off, over to his right flank in the trees.
Yeah, the one thing that I would do if I was Sony, though, seeing that there's no archers, is I would actually, put my my archers back in a tighter formation, so when he actually, starts to fire on them, they're in tighter groups, which actually causes more casualties.
That'd be a good thing, but it seems like he's just leaving them back in loose formation. Doesn't want them out front where they're going to get charged. He wants them behind where they can give supporting fire to his infantry. It seems. Over on his right flank, he's got the unit of Yari Ashigaru protecting his matchlock samurai. Over on the left, 2 units of Great Guard hanging out.
Yeah, looking at this, Sony's definitely got the upper hand. Tadatsune he had his spears in the front, but he's actually moving his swords forward, which is a good move.
Okay, so that only leaves the big melee. It's going to happen presently, I'm sure. The volley goes off from the matchlocks, and the katanas at the back, they lose about 21 casualties. Here comes Tadatsune's cavalry charging headlong into the warrior monks. 2 units of Yaro cavalry. The light cavalry charged through the spearmen into the matchlocks, or through the matchlocks into the spearmen. I couldn't tell which was which. And here comes a general. And it looks like Tadatsune's light cavalry are going to flee in short order. Along with his Yaro cavalry as well.
Our general is in grave danger.
Yeah, you definitely got to watch out for the melee general if you've got some lightly vetted cav.
Over on the other flank, Tadatsune charged his Yaro cavalry and 2 of his Naginata warrior monks straight into the fight, but they're going to flee as well. Those great guards making mincemeat of them very, very quickly.
And also, he threw a unit of Katana Sam right into the flank of the warrior monks, which that was definitely a good move. But Tadatsune's trying to answer with the rear charge to the Katana, but as you can see, the center's starting to falter.
Yep, and Tadatsune's left flank is completely gone. The center is not looking very healthy at all. So it looks like this was probably a gamble that didn't pay off for Tadatsune.
Yeah, anytime you take an army that's not really backed by guns or archery, you got to really do a much better job at tying up their guns and archery. I mean, those guns, they really tore up the morale.
And it looks like Tadatsune's units are only just winning the fight on the left flank, but that's not going to matter much given that his other flank and the center is completely gone. His general is running away for his life.
Yeah, Sony's definitely going after him again with his melee gun.
Our men are running from my lord. A glorious
Well, that was a much faster, even more convincing win for Sony, but you have to think that that was mostly on Tadatsune's army composition. I think he could have done a bit of a better choice. I think he was just frustrated. Do you think at that loss? And he just wanted to get a quick win?
Yeah, I don't think Tadatsune really had an answer for the skirmisher, so that was really what cost him this battle.
Yep, so Sone Masayo from the Takeda Clan's Team 1 goes up 2-0 over Tadatsune, and by my count, that means that in the match between Shimazu and Takeda Clan's Team 1, it is 2 sets apiece. So I really hope I can get a hold of that replay that decides that set, because that would be awesome. I'd actually be able to finish a set. And Kinjo, thanks very much for joining me. It was an honor. You've done very well.
No problem.
I hope to have you back.
I'd just like to give a shout out to the Takeda Clan. They played well, and to both players. Good job, Sony.
Thank you very much.